Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out to our Thursday session about using LinkedIn and social media in your job search. I think you're really going to learn a lot. This is been looking forward to this session for a long time. So I'm going to introduce our guest here in just a second, Celeste Calfee. But I thought it might be fun before we start, maybe if she could see sort of the makeup of our audience. So let's just raise a hand if this applies to you. So how many freshmen do we have? Okay. Sophomores? Okay. Juniors? Oh, lots of juniors. That's the big one. Seniors? Okay, so a little bit of everything. Any master's level students here or just okay. We have are you a pharmacy student? I see oh yeah, okay, good. So we have, what else how many people are student athletes? Oh, wow, a bunch, yeah. How many people here already have a LinkedIn account? Oh, that was better than yesterday. We asked the same question yesterday. Good. Well, good. Well, as you can see, we have a wide variety of students here for you. But I'm really excited about this. Just a couple housekeeping things. I think most of you have been to some of our other sessions in the week, but as you know, the cards in the seat, those are attendance cards, and fill those out and drop them in the box. I've got that box over there. I'm going to set it in the back before the end of the presentation. Drop your cards in the box on the way out. And as always, we'll be giving away a book, so I'll pick a lucky winner. But without further ado, I want to introduce our guest, Celeste Calfee. Celeste is the owner and president of Calfee & Associates. It's a female-owned human resources consulting firm specializing in career management. Bringing her 20-plus years of experience in this industry, Celeste provides the individual a tailored approach to developing the next steps in their career path, whether they are meeting as the result of an outplacement event or through the leadership development program. They're headquartered in Pittsburgh, but they have offices right here in Charleston, also in Raleigh, North Carolina, and Spartanburg, South Carolina. She is well respected by colleagues who often refer work to her, knowing that she'll do an excellent job and not infringe on or hurt their client relationships. Celeste's very active in the human resources community and is a contributing member through speaking engagements, officer roles, and sponsorships of several regional and national organizations. She sits on the Carlow University Alumni Board and Whitaker Corporation Board of Directors. And over the last 8 months, 10 months or so, we've talked on the phone periodically. And like I say, I've just really been impressed and have been excited about having her come down for a long time. So with that said, let's give a big hand to Celeste Calfee.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. He's taller than I am. Well, thank you for having me. I've been looking forward to this. I always love the opportunity to talk to people about networking and their careers. As Travis said, I've been doing this for over 20 years. I've owned my own business for 13, and I guess I'll be talking about that this evening. But what I have found, whether you're just starting out like yourself or you're a seasoned employee, that you're all looking for something that's going to make you want to get out of bed in the morning. And it's like, what is that? Travis let you know that I sit on the board of directors for Carlow University on the alumni board, so that should give you a hint that I graduated from Carlow University. And if you're from Pittsburgh, you would know that Carlow is known for nursing. I am not a nurse. I cannot stand the sight of blood. If you are in the hospital, I will come and see you. I will get out before meals are served because I can't take the smell. Yet I was in the nursing program for all the wrong reasons. My parents wanted me to be a nurse. I didn't want to be a nurse. My parents wanted me to be a nurse. But then through talking, and back then in the dark ages, when I was your age, we didn't call it networking. We called it talking to folks and figuring out what you wanted to do. I found a career path that I thought was going to work for me. My actual degree from Carlow is in clinical sociology and education. And I've never worked in that field. I know you're like, what? But it just happened that I just had career paths that led me here. About 20 years ago, I was looking for a job, and it was through networking that my friend told me. He said, I was working for a politician at the time. Yeah, I was one of those. I was one of the people that ran the campaigns on a national level. I still kind of miss it, but I got out of it for various reasons. And my friend said to me, City of Pittsburgh's looking for a job developer, and I didn't know what that was. And I started asking questions because we didn't have LinkedIn back then. Did I get the right number? Button. No. Nope. Nope. I'm not good at this stuff. There we go. LinkedIn was only founded in 2003. By 2003, I had already been in my industry for a couple of years. So I had to do it the old-fashioned way by talking and meeting people. And there might be some of you in the audience that might be thinking, oh, well, Celeste, you're here, you're talking to us, you're not shy. Yes, I was. If you would go and talk to anyone that I graduated from high school with, especially, they are shocked and amazed that I own my own business. Because, well, 60% of them didn't even know I existed because I was so quiet. But I learned early on that to be successful, you had to get outside your box, outside your comfort zone. So even now, you're going to laugh, maybe not, while Travis was talking about me and everything else, and I still get embarrassed by all that. In my head, I was doing a song, and I'm not going to tell you what the song is, but it's my get on the field and do it song type of thing. It's like, get going, face them. They're going to be fine. And hopefully, if one of you learns something today, I will have done my job. All right. So like I said, there are over 500 million users that use LinkedIn. If I would have had this when I was your age, I probably would have started my business a lot sooner than I did. How did I start my business? I lost my job. And that wasn't the first time I lost my job. You'll find when you go to corporate America, stuff happens, and that's when you meet people like me. And I hopefully can give you some ideas on how to get to the next steps in your career. If I would have had this, it would have made life so much easier. And before you leave, I did give 2 young ladies my business card, but I do have my business card here. Please take my business card and link with me because I am connected to almost 2,300 people. Somewhere along that line, hopefully there is someone in that crowd that could help you in your career. As Travis says, I have offices up and down the East Coast, and I know folks in every industry imaginable. So anything that you might want to go into, use the LinkedIn. This is where, when you're thinking about what career you want to do, you should go here. When I am working with my clients to help them get a job, for example, the first thing I tell them when they tell me they have an interview is, go on LinkedIn. Because if they're a professional worth anything, any weight, they're going to have a LinkedIn account. I was very pleased to see a lot of you that have LinkedIn accounts. If you don't have one, I would advise getting one. It's free. You can get a very nice LinkedIn account and get it started. For example, if you take me up on my offer and you invite me to link with you, my LinkedIn is open. That means you have access to all of my folks. So while you're looking for a job or maybe an internship or something like that, maybe you can go on and say you want to get into the oil and gas industry and you want to work for Cabot Oil and Gas. I know everyone that works at Cabot Oil and Gas, they're my client. So you could go on and you could hit maybe Deb Larkin, and say, Deb, I see that we share a link with Celeste Kelfy, and I'd like to add you to my network. She will say yes, and now you're linked. Now, of course, I don't want you to be a stalker and harass her, but now you're linked with Deb, and as you're looking at the company, this will open up doors that you can maybe talk to her. Maybe say, Deb, I am going to interview at your company for a position in Houston. Could you tell me a little bit about your culture? And Deb will tell you. She may not pick up the phone and talk to you, but the beauty of LinkedIn is if you're shy, you can do a lot of things through text messages and email. Another one of my clients is Westinghouse, so I work with a ton of engineers. They're so smart, but they're so shy. They will follow the process to finding a job, and they love this because they can talk to people without picking up the phone and talking to a person. Now, eventually, as you learned all week, you eventually have to talk to a person. But this could be a great first step. Another hint I want to give you, and I'm stealing this from my nephew. My nephew's a graduating senior down at Clemson this year. Yay, go Tigers. And he has a LinkedIn account, and he had his resume on the account and everything, but he said it wasn't getting to where he needed it to be. So he went to a website, and if this isn't right, I apologize, because I was trying to tell the two young ladies earlier. I think it's Wix. It's one of the free ones. And he developed a website. So now when folks go on his LinkedIn page, which they do, they just click on, it says added information or something, it's just an attachment, and they go straight, they're redirected straight to this web page now. And they can see what Michael did at Clemson, they could see the clubs he was involved with, the internships he did, his resumes on there, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's what clients want. Oh, Celeste, that's so much work. I didn't say it was going to be easy. But once you have it set up, it's easy. Celeste, do people really look at LinkedIn? Yes, they do. They will go to LinkedIn to check you out before they even call you for an interview. And that's if you're going for an internship or a job. They want to see who you are. They want to see what you're involved with. They want to see what kind of courses you took. Now, your LinkedIn account is going to be different from mine. And even my account, I change it periodically. About maybe once a year, I'll go in and I'll change it around a little bit. And what I'm changing is the profile. For example, when I started my business, I did a lot just on the outplacement. And if you don't know what that is, I am the Grim Reaper. So when a company is letting people go, they hire people like me to come in and work with the folks to help them get their jobs. So I do a lot of resumes, I do a lot of interview training and stuff like that. Well, as you can imagine, I'm pretty busy when the economy's not so good, but when the economy's pretty good, Celeste was sitting at home and Celeste still had car payments. So I got into the the leadership development program. I used to call it executive coaching, but then I was working with more folks like your age, just coming into the companies, not really knowing what to do. So I was helping you on those next rungs, so I had to go change my LinkedIn page. So what you see is like your LinkedIn page will always grow. It will always change to fit different aspects. I generally accept anyone that has the guts to ask me to link with me, because I figure if you reached out to me, you're reaching out to me for a reason. So I say yes. And even though I obviously do not need a job, mine is open. So on your LinkedIn page, come on. I'm not good at this. All right. The cameraman's like, get your act together. Why isn't it working for me? You know what? That's what I was pushing. You know, I had the same issue with the car. Let me tell you what happened. I'm driving a rental today. And the reason I'm driving a rental is I was driving down the city of Pittsburgh Street on 5th Avenue by Chatham University, minding my own business, and my car was in an accident. I wasn't, my car was. I went over a manhole cover, and the manhole cover tipped up into the wheel well between my wheel and my car, and I was hung up at rush hour in the city of Pittsburgh. So my car is being fixed. So I had a car that they lent me, and I couldn't get the gas tank to open. So I'm not really good with gadgets, so I apologize. I make my living with my words, not with gadgets. Aren't you lucky? But here, that if you don't know what to really do, and you're just starting out, this is a great place. Join the groups. Look at people who are on there. How many of you, since you're, especially the seniors, are you starting to interview? Are you starting to look? You should be on here before you go out because they're looking for you. I never go into a meeting before I go on LinkedIn. You don't think I didn't check this guy out? First time, I have a consultant that works down here, John, and he was going to come today, but he has the flu, and I told him I will mace him with Lysol if he comes near me to stay away. But John introduced me to Travis. John met Travis. And like he said, we talked on the phone, but I went on LinkedIn and I checked him out. First of all, I wanted to see what he looked like for when I met him. And I wanted to see, you know, what brought him here, because I like people. So when you're interviewing or when you're going out for, you know, for anything, you should be on LinkedIn checking out who people are because they're looking at you. 97.8% of human resources professionals go on LinkedIn to see who you are. Celeste, they have my resume. Yeah, I know. But your resume, as you were told in the earlier sessions, is a formal presentation of your education and your experience. LinkedIn can go a little bit deeper. It can show all the things that you like to do, like maybe you're into animal welfare, maybe you're into volunteering, quilting, maybe you're into something like that. You've played sports, you know, maybe you're affiliated with some. I know Michael's has a, I won't tell you who he was, but he was a well-known quarterback from Clemson, and Michael had the. He was friends with him, and his main thing was Habitat for Humanity. And he organized it for all the football players, and he would also get friends of his to do that. So every spring, they would go and they would help build houses. Now, that's on his LinkedIn page. Not necessarily on the resume. So your LinkedIn page can give people like me more to see because, just like I'm telling you, I want to develop my business with good people. I know that I want to see who you are as a person. Because I also know resumes are written by people like me. So it's true, because everything on your resume should be true, because people have lost jobs because it isn't. But I also know that people like me can enhance them and make them pretty and make them flowy and make them sound wonderful. I want to see who you are. And it has a social media feel to it. So it should make you feel more comfortable. But it's not Facebook. It's not Facebook. So you're not going to see any jokes. You're not going to see any shared recipes. You're not going to see pictures of people going on vacation or Mardi Gras, etc. And if that stuff does creep into LinkedIn, that person is shut down. I saw it during the last presidential election. Folks started giving their viewpoints on each candidate. Those people were shut down. and an apology was posted on LinkedIn. We apologize for you for seeing this, and as a reminder that this is a professional networking site, and it's not to put your viewpoints or things like that. So you can be secure that there's going to be all professional articles. On your LinkedIn, okay, you're all said, I'm on LinkedIn. How many of you that are on LinkedIn belong to certain groups? Do you belong to any groups on LinkedIn? Okay, what group do you belong to? Okay, that's a good one. So you get to see he belonged to a group that he worked at. He gets to see what they're involved with, what they do. Any other people belong to groups? It's a good place. Do you belong to the group? Well, for those of you who are graduating seniors, are you onto the group jobs? There's a group just for jobs. There's a group just for recruiters. For those of you who are starting to look for jobs, do you have under your profile and your security, do you have that open so the recruiters can find you? You should. Because when you go to look for a job, it's going to be networking, in person in this way. It's going to be answering ads. And the only way to get a job with the ad is to follow it up through something like this. So if you're on Indeed.com, for example, and you see a job you want to go after, to be successful in landing that job, you should network to see if you know someone. Well, Celeste, I don't know someone that works for Hilfiger. Pick on you. I would be online and I would be searching Hilfiger to see people who work at Hilfiger, to see if there's somebody in here that works there. How about doing University of Charleston alumni? You should all belong to that group. There might be someone really important that works there at Hilfiger, and they could maybe give you a job because they believe in alumni. So this is the way where you can use it and feel comfortable with it and have fun with it. 62.9% of people that I know spend at least 3 hours a week on it. It's very easy to get on LinkedIn and spend like a whole day. I set a timer because here's what happens here's what happens when you start working your LinkedIn. You're going to start working it, so people are going to start seeing you. Every time you say something, it pops up. It pops up. So people start seeing your name more and more and more. You might respond to an article with just a like, and it'll be like Celeste Kelfie liked this article that Travis Kale wrote. It'll pop up. Now people go, well, oh, Celeste. Well, who's Celeste? And then you start getting invites, and you start saying, oh, let me read this article, and let me go here. Okay, I looked about Coors. Now let me pick on another thing here. Tampa Bay. Let me look at Tampa Bay Company. Oh, let me look at the Patriots and go there. I'm picking T-shirts. St. Vincent's. Let me go there. So this is what happens when you get into LinkedIn, though. You start to go looking around to see what's going on in the world. So set a timer, but you should be using it because it does give you information. Please do not go to any more interviews for anything before you go on LinkedIn. Please. Be prepared. They have looked at you. Why give them the edge? You want the edge. You want to be in control. It's a sense of unity. You know that people that are using LinkedIn are serious about their careers. And they're serious about getting to the next step in their career. And we love seeing young people like you on LinkedIn because, eventually we want to retire. So we want to see you. We want to see what you're all about. We know you're on Snapchat and all that stuff, and that's fine. But I want to see your professional face. I want to see that look. It lets you build relationships. I've made many friendships on LinkedIn that now I have met them and we talk, like Travis. It creates ideas. Someone might have something there. I was just telling you about my nephew. And I'm not saying it because he's my nephew, well, just a little bit. But I just thought that was such a brilliant idea to take his resume off his LinkedIn and just put in his webpage instead, because then that way he could showcase all the internships he did. I thought that was brilliant. And he stole that from somebody else. So you might see an idea there that you might think of and say, that is really a good idea. So let me try that. Because before I call you in, time is money in corporate America. I know you don't want to hear that, but that's the reality. And I don't want to waste my time calling you in if we're not going to have anything to talk about. Or calling you in based on your resume, then I find out, okay, you're kind of dull. Or maybe I want dull. Oh, she's too exuberant for me. But this way, if I get an idea of who you are and what you're into on LinkedIn, that gives me a better idea of to call you in. Celeste, isn't that discrimination? No. We're judged every time somebody meets us for the first time. You judged me. You did. I judged you. You know what I judge? Now look at all these young people. They're here during a lunchtime, so they're interested in their career. Kudos. So I judged you. When I was having issues, which I just have issues, you judged me, probably thought, oh, she's so stupid. I am. When it comes to stuff like this. But we all judge people, so why not put yourself above the person who's doing what I'm telling you to do? And LinkedIn is a fabulous way to do it. Your photo should be professional. No selfies. I can tell it's selfie. There is a well-respected, I'm not saying, because he's from here in Charleston, and I had to tell him, you know, I love you dearly, but you look like a clown. His face was, let me see if I can do it. Because he did this, and his mouth was open, and he was smiling, and I'm like, you look stupid. And I said, every time I see your picture, I laugh. So no selfies. Have someone take your phone and take your picture for you. Does it have to be in a suit and a tie? No. But it should be professional looking. I would try and not wear any T-shirts that have anything on them, because you don't know when people might be prejudiced against that organization or that association or that company. So I would just wear wear a color that you look nice in, but have someone take that picture. Take it in where it's light. I have another person that I work with, and their picture is against a dark wall, and they have a dark suit on, and he has dark hair. And I says, Matt, you're blending into the wall. I can't even see you, because you have dark hair, dark suit, dark wall, dark chair. So he just made a slight adjustment and had like a color like this wall, and it made a world of difference. You can see Matt. Celeste, isn't that kind of going against EEOC affirmative action in a way? Probably. But they're going to see who you are when you walk in the door. I get more concern from people my age over that than the other way. Because they're like, Celeste, they're going to tell I'm 50 years old. Oh, well, they're going to tell pretty much when you walk in the door. You're 50, you're not 20. So take a professional picture. I think you should have a picture. I don't want to see a picture of you at a party. I want to see a picture of you like in a classroom or here. For those of you who are athletes, if you want to take a picture like that, that's fine. It shows who you are. But then perhaps if you're not going into into your sport for a career, perhaps then you'd want to change it. But remember, I said they change all the time. If you look at my picture, it's a professional one because I had to have a professional headshot done for a magazine that did an article on me. That's the only reason I paid money for a picture, believe me. When I saw him taking my picture, you know why I kept moving? I wanted to get out of his line of sight because I hate my picture being taken. But before that, I had a friend take my picture with my phone. And that's what was on it. But then I figured I paid money for the headshot, I may as well use it. But you don't have to use that. Just have your friends take it. Look at your headline. This is hard to see, I'm sorry. This is, tell me who you are. So, if I was you right now, and let me do my career right as it is now, I would put Celeste Calfee, and right below it, I would put business major, graduating May 2018. So that's telling you right off the bat my name, what my major is, when I'm graduating. I would probably then put a little bit more into it, what I'm looking for. There's no shame in telling people you're looking for a job, people. Telling them you're looking for an internship. I'm not ashamed to tell you. Now, I told you Michael goes to school in South Carolina. He wanted to do he wanted to do at least one internship in Pennsylvania because he was done with the heat down there in the summer, because his 2 previous ones were in the South. I'm not ashamed to tell you. I went on my network and I says, my nephew, Michael Calfee, and here is his LinkedIn page, is looking for an internship in Pittsburgh over the summer. Please let me know if you know of anything. He is an engineering major in biosystems and environmental policy. Please let me know if you have anything. He got 25 replies just from that little boost. That's how LinkedIn can work for you. On his thing, he said he was looking for an internship. I think now he says I don't think he has anything on there because he's up in the air if he's going to go to grad school or whatever. And that's fine. But tell people what you're looking for. We're not mind readers. Oh, they called because you do business with them. Yeah, maybe. But they didn't know he was there till I told them, he's there, look. And that's what you're going to find, guys. People are going to want to help you. We were all you at one point in our careers. So we're going to want to help you. We're going to want you to become a contributing member to society, for number one. And we all had kids that we paid for college, so we want you to get out there and give it back. And that's how you do it. And it's easy to go in and change things around. You just hit the little pencil and you move it. You could see this guy has 500 plus. I think mine, it stops at 1,500, something like that, 1,500 plus or something like that. You can send a message to a person. If you have the paid account, which I don't think you guys need that right now, but if you have the paid account, it's like $199 for the year. That's a lot of money. You can, if you're thinking, especially those of you who are graduating seniors, or if you're looking for a job, you thought, well, maybe this might be an investment while I'm looking. They'll give you a free one for 2 months. Then you can always say, not interested, I'm going back to free. But on that, with the paid one, you can send me, for example, you don't know me. You can send me what they call an in-mail. It's a play on email. And again, that's like, I saw you on LinkedIn. I'm interested in working for your company. I've done some research into your company. Do you have time to talk? I can't do that. Yes, you can. It's a lot easier than picking up the phone and saying, can I set up a networking meeting with you because I'm thinking of working for your company. Do you have time to talk to me? And they will talk to you, quote, via email. A lot better than talk to you on the phone, because they can answer email while they're in a hotel room. They can answer emails in the evenings. Use it. Use it. I use it all the time. I still hustle for business. I'm always out there seeing what companies are coming in, what's going on, who can I talk to. Use your LinkedIn account. If you use it, you're going to increase the chances by, I think I read a statistic on SHRM magazine, which is the Society for Human Resources Management, by 125% that you will get noticed before someone who's not using LinkedIn, because they consider you a go-getter and they saw you. Celeste, I heard Appalachian Power is hiring. Okay, so did I. Well, I'm just going to go on Indeed and put my resume. Okay. You know what? You're going to be there with the other 3,000 people that are putting their resume on. But if you follow up and go on LinkedIn and say, you don't have to know the person. You could say, I saw that you were hiring for a chemical engineer, and I'm interested, and I applied on your site, and I'd love to talk to you about this position. They're going to look at you and say, that's somebody who really wants a job, who wants to work. That's somebody we want in our company. I was talking to two young ladies' pharmacy. I mean, that's a crowded field, too. They're still looking for young people. Where do you want to go? You can go somewhere and just make money, or you can, and money's not everything, but come on. Or you can go and get a career. So this is how you find out the different roles. Using LinkedIn. You want to increase your chances. You don't want to be sitting out. My nephew has, oops, I'm hitting it. I'm hitting the right one. My nephew has a friend who graduated early in December, still does not have a job. Celeste, it's only February. He's a chemist. Graduated from Allegheny College, excellent college. 4.0, can't find a job. You know why? Because he sends out one resume every 2 weeks. This is Robert. Are you on LinkedIn? No. Robert, how do they know you're looking? Oh, I sent a resume along with 14 other people. Robert, no, I can't do that. I'm too humble. I'm like, well, you're going to be sitting out a long time. Meanwhile, his parents are pulling their hair out of their heads because he's sending out one resume every 2 weeks, but that's another story. When you do your experience, Celeste, I don't have any experience. Maybe you do. If you look at Michael's, you know what experience he highlights is when he was a lifeguard at Sylvan Park Pool, because he said that's when he learned about the importance of water and how the water has to be safe for people not only to drink but to swim in. And that's his concentration when he did his, I don't want to call it thesis, his senior project. He did it on water, and that was part of it. That's what's highlighted on his LinkedIn. His job as a lifeguard, and he's studying to be an engineer, has nothing to do with it. But people will look to see there's a story there. That's what they're looking for, the story. So you could have a job like that. When you've done volunteer work, summer jobs, internships, those are all experience. Put it on there. Tell me about your volunteer work. Why did you choose what you chose? Were you like me when I went to college? I chose to be a nurse even though I hated the sight of blood. Somewhere along the line, I learned that I cannot be a nurse. I had the brains to be a nurse, and I'm not just saying that because I'm an egomaniac. I had the grades. I just didn't have the heart. That's why I put you got to love what you do. And if you're using the LinkedIn and you're making a LinkedIn profile as part of your networking efforts, people are going to see that you love what you do. That's why you chose your career. I make a joke and I say I don't do anything with my degree, but in a way I do, because it was sociology, which is the study of people, and I love meeting all kinds of people. And if you look at my career, if you go on LinkedIn, you'll see that all of my jobs have had something to do with people. Obviously, I'm not a technician. The cameraman's hating me right now. And obviously, I'm not a math person, but I'm pretty good with my words. So look to see what the LinkedIn is like. Look at other people's LinkedIn. Do a search on LinkedIn and do college LinkedIn profiles and see what other people were writing. It's called borrowing. Why reinvent the wheel when it's already out there? So pull different things and help them. I'm giving you this offer. It's up to you because I'm not going to track you down because, one, I don't know who you are. If you want me to look at your LinkedIn after you do it, just send me a text or give me a call or send me an email, and I will look at it. That's one of the things I do is I write LinkedIn profiles. So that's an offer I'm giving you. All I have to do is take my business card. And that's a freebie. Connect with folks you know. Remember I asked you what are the groups you belong to? Do you belong to this alumni group here? You should. Do you know friends, people you've met at events? You've met me now. I bet only 2 or 3 people will contact me because people go, she didn't mean it. Definitely, if you do anything after today, get on the university's alumni group and search for people there and connect with those folks because they know what you're going through because they've gone through it. They went to school here. This is a beautiful campus. I was telling Travis I didn't realize how big it was. It's a nice campus. Post quotes. Share a newsworthy item. Reply to others. Sometimes I just go on. Last night I was on LinkedIn and I saw an article about the age discrimination that's going on and how tough it is for folks over a certain age to get a job. And I just hit a reply that, what HR needs to realize that age is just a number and they should look at the person. And I mean that for you too. They should talk to you. Take the time to get to know you. Don't look at your age. I don't care if you're at this end or that end. Do you know I had 700 replies to that when I woke up this morning? And it was just like, agreed, or smiley face or whatever. But that means my name got out to 700 people, which I like. So use it. See who's checking your profile. Do you look to see who's looking at you? Unless you're smart like me, because I'm so smart, I can look at you and you won't know it's me. You'll see a human resources consultant. So if you see someone checking out your profile and it says a human resources consultant, it's probably me, because I hit private for that part. So if you don't want folks to know it's you looking at them, again, go onto your account, look at your privacy settings, and hit private where they cannot see you. But you can see who they are. By seeing who's checking you out, you can see who's interested in you and what you have to give. I would go after those folks for a job. If they're taking the time to look at you, there's something about you that they like, so you should look at it. Look to see who they're connected with. That's another thing. When you go on to LinkedIn, you can not only see who's checking you out, you can see why. Who are they connected to? What spurred this connection? Ask for recommendations. I know a lot of you will be getting letters of recommendations. Ask if you can put it on LinkedIn. Don't just throw it on there without your permission. But ask if you can put it on LinkedIn. Whenever I do a job, I always ask for a recommendation. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. That's fine. But ask for one. Remember to pay it back, though. Say you did some volunteer work for someone for an organization, and maybe they asked you for a recommendation for next year's juniors, sophomores, freshmen, seniors. Then pay it back. And you'll be doing a lot more of the paying back as you get further along in your career. But the one thing I've learned in this industry is karma. If you don't pay back, it's going to come back and smack you right in the face because you can't keep taking without helping someone else. And I've seen it over and over. I have the folks who I know who they are, who never return my call, blah, blah, then they lose their job, and they're like, Celeste, nobody will return my call. I'm thinking, oh, hello? Celeste, I went on LinkedIn, they ignored me. Well, hello? So ask for recommendations. If someone asks you for one, hit a like, look at it, work your LinkedIn. And after a first meeting, face-to-face, the most ideal is to get another significant meetup, whether it's face-to-face meeting like this or a talk, but at the very least, you should link in with them. Call them. Have fun with it. Have fun with it. You might learn something. Any questions? Be quiet. Are you hungry? I am. On the LinkedIn, a couple of you raised your hands that people are looking at you. Are these folks that you've applied for jobs or internships? Pardon me? Okay. Are they people that you talk to? Okay. Did you wonder why they looked at you? Okay. Well, if they looked at you, here's a hint. If you see someone that looked at you on LinkedIn, I would, again, you can Celeste, but go back and send them an email or say, hi, I noticed you were looking at my profile. Is there anything that you would like to know more that isn't highlighted on my LinkedIn? Then that opens up a communication, another line of communication to talk to. Think about maybe doing the website, because I know you guys like that stuff. I know a lot more of the college applications are being done online. They're not doing like when I was in the dark ages. Everything's online today. So you might want to think about looking at ways to really put yourself out there so they can see you. That's how you're going to find a job or an internship, is through networking. The only way Indeed works, which is the best site out there, by the way, the only way it works is if you follow it up with some kind of a contact. And the best way to get a contact is, if you don't know someone like me, who usually knows the person, is to go on LinkedIn. That person was you at one point. And we didn't have the luxury of LinkedIn. I'm telling you right now, if I would have had LinkedIn, I would have started my business way sooner than I did. Because it would have given, the main thing when you own a business is to keep marketing and get your word out, right? If I would have had this, I would have done it a long time ago. And I have friends on LinkedIn I've never met. So use it. Any questions? They're quiet. I'm not doing my job, Travis. I'm sorry. Any questions? All right, for those of you who don't have a LinkedIn, are you going to go out and do one? Try to do one? You have a question?
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm into coaching, and I'm looking into tennis coaching. You see people on LinkedIn do that sort of thing, because I kind of got the impression that you know, like
No, there's no. What you would do is, on the search, I would do tennis plus coaching plus opportunities. Or tennis, use the plus sign, coaching plus professionals. And then you'll see who they're there. There's like, what, 50 million people on LinkedIn? So they're there. I know a lot of folks that do the sports coaching. A lot of my nephew's friends are into golf management. And so that's how I know they're there, because they were looking to do their internships. And for example, the one lives in Florida, and he wanted to do a golf internship at Oakmont. Well, come on, who wouldn't? That's like the premier golf course. And he went on LinkedIn and found someone, not knowing that we live in Oakmont. But he never thought to ask Michael. We live like 5 minutes away. And that's how he got an interview. And he's doing his internship at Oakmont this year. So they're out there. Just do the little plus sign in between, and you can always find what you're looking for. Look at the jobs thing, too. For those of you who are looking for jobs, that's available even for the free. Jobs. But put what category you're looking for. For example, pharmacy, I would do pharmacy plus jobs. Always do the plus sign. Like me, I would do human resources consulting plus jobs. And then they'll bring it up. There's a whole site. And then look for sites that are maybe just for, like there might be one just for sports medicine. They would do sports medicine, sports coaching. They would do pharmacy. They would do business. They would do engineering. There's all kind of groups. You just need to find them, join them, and then see what they have to offer. That opens up even more jobs because a lot more HR folks are posting on LinkedIn now than even Indeed. Because even though Indeed's in a contest, a war with Monster right now, and they're giving pretty good rates to post jobs, they still have to pay. And some companies don't want to pay if they don't have to. So they will go on LinkedIn, and it's generally free. A lot of the recruiters are on LinkedIn. And recruiters, they're a different animal. I'm sure that was covered this week. But you should use them when you're looking. When you're looking for a job, you should use networking, LinkedIn, personal, job fairs, all of that stuff. By the way, if you go to a job fair, when you get their business card, go on LinkedIn and say, I met you at the job fair at the university the other way. Would you link in with me? Always kind of like jog where you met them. They're going to say yes. Now that opened up another door. Any other questions? Use it. Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks very much, Celeste. That was really good, and I hope that you all were taking good notes. I know you were because I saw you writing stuff down and paying attention, because what she said is just it is the truth. LinkedIn can be a huge boost. When students come to me and they're trying to find jobs and internships, and a lot of you know this if you've been to me. I usually ask if you have LinkedIn because if you don't, what'd you say, 97% of recruiters look at LinkedIn? Yeah, so, people are looking. So a real quick just a couple of things, and I'll get you out of here. I know some of you have class. There are, she was talking about the headshots, and that, again, very true. Make sure you have a professional-looking headshot. You all hopefully will know that Brock Burwell, who works here at the university, he will do headshots for you. He's got the fancy camera, and he'll do a professional headshot. He'll take you down here to the rotunda or even out back and get the Capitol in the background if you want that. Take advantage of it. We've got that for you. So we've almost come to the end of Career Development Week. We have one more session left, and I'm in a generous mood, and as you know, I've got books to give away, so I'll give away a couple extra. I'll give away a book here to who can tell me what tonight's career development session is. And Alec, you're disqualified. You know what it is. So. That's pretty close. It's pretty close. Yeah. It's a deep. Give me more detail.
Starting your own business.
I'll give it to you. You come up and get this. It's I think Alec was helping you, right? Yeah, it's. Oh, do you? Yeah. So it's an entrepreneur's discussion panel. It is going to. I think a lot of it will be about starting your own business, and not only starting the business but running the business. So, and I'll give away another book here for who knows when our job fair is, our spring career fair. This is tougher. No, Alec, I see it. Who knows, because this is a little tougher because we hadn't really gone full heavy in advertising for it yet. Anybody got a good guess? Anything? Oh, well, at least you guessed. It's not April. It's not in April though. So, man, anybody else? Have you? Huh? Oh, what's the other month? March, yeah. There we go. So if you anybody know, you probably don't know the exact day because you'll be hearing about it now that Career Development Week is coming to an end. It's March 7th, and I want you to do what Celeste is talking about. is once you go to that job fair, get business cards and link up with them on LinkedIn afterwards. So, all right, guys, Celeste will be back with us tonight for the Entrepreneurs Discussion Panel. Please come to it. It's going to be really good. I know the evening sessions are probably a little harder to get to, but please come to it. I think it's going to be good. So one final hand for Celeste for coming out.
Yeah, thank you. I am impressed that so many of you are on LinkedIn. So.
Good job, guys. Thank you all.
Thank you.